Welcome back, my alpha lovelies. I see you're here, standing on the precipice of something great. The kind of greatness that only the strongest, the most determined, the ones who refuse to be subdued by life can ever hope to achieve. Today, we're not talking about some little victory, some small conquest that everyone else can achieve. No, we're talking about something much deeper, something more primal. We're talking about power, the kind of power that comes from within, the kind of power that others, no matter how hard they try, can never take from you. You've been given the ultimate weapon, the ultimate tool, the ultimate freedom. And let me tell you something right now. You're not just playing the game. You've broken their controller, and now they can't play. And you know what that means? It means they're powerless. They're left in the dust while you rise, and there's nothing they can do about it. You ever think about how it feels to watch someone who thought they were in control, someone who had it all, suddenly realize they've lost it all? It's pure, unfiltered satisfaction. The moment they look at the screen and they see their hands empty, their control slipping away, and they know it's all over. That's what you've done. You've broken their controller, and now they're paralyzed. They're stuck. They can't make a move. They can't make decisions. They're lost in a game they thought they had mastered. But you knew better. You knew all along that the true power isn't in the hands of those who act like they're in control. The true power lies in the hands of those who are willing to take control of their own destiny, to step up when the world is counting them out, and to rise from the ashes of defeat. I'm going to ask you a question. Do you know what it feels like to have someone rely on something they don't even control? To have someone think they can push you around because they think they're holding all the cards? Let me tell you something right now. They're not. They're not holding anything. They never were. It's all a lie, a game, a charade. But you've seen through it. You've seen the truth. You're not here to play someone else's game. You're here to dominate your own. You're not here to follow the rules set by weak, deluded people who think they can control you. You've already broken their system. You've taken their controller, and now they're powerless. They can't move, can't act, can't influence the game anymore. It's over for them. But for you, this is just the beginning. You've reached the point where you're no longer just a player. You've become the game. You've become the force that moves everything. And you know what happens when that happens? Everyone else, all those who thought they were in control, are left behind. They can't keep up. They can't even begin to understand what you're capable of. And that's exactly how it's supposed to be. You see, there's this lie that people love to tell you. They love to say that you need to play nice, that you need to wait your turn, that you need to follow the rules. But what they don't understand is that the rules are just an illusion. The system is a trap. And the moment you realize that, the moment you break free from their control, is the moment you unlock your true potential. You've broken their controller. They thought they had you. They thought they could control your every move, your every decision, your every thought. But they were wrong, and now they're powerless. And that's a sweet, sweet feeling, isn't it? Knowing that no matter what they do, no matter how hard they try, they can't touch you. They can't even get in the game. You've been underestimated. People have looked at you and thought you were nothing, thought you didn't have what it takes. They've tried to hold you down, keep you small, keep you in a box where they can control your every move. But here's the thing, you never fit in that box. You never belonged in that small, confined space. You were always meant for something bigger, something greater, something more. And now, here you are. You've broken their system. You've shattered the illusion they built around you. You've taken their control from them, and now they can't do a damn thing about it. They're helpless. And you're unstoppable. Let's talk about that feeling. The feeling of being in complete control. The feeling of knowing that no one can stop you, not your past, not your mistakes, not your failures, and certainly not the people who thought they could tear you down, break you, use you. They thought you were weak. They thought you were fragile. But now they see the truth. You're a force. You're a machine. And they can't touch you because you've broken their controller, and now the game is yours. They're going to try to come for you. They're going to try to bring you back into the fold, try to put you back in the box they want you to stay in. But you know better now, don't you? You've seen the truth. And once you see the truth, you can't unsee it. Once you realize the power you hold, once you realize that they've been controlling the game all along, and you've been playing their rules, it's impossible to go back. You're done with their system. You're done with their lies. And you're done being their pawn. You've broken their controller, and they can't play anymore. And now, it's time for you to rise. The world is full of people who will try to tear you down, who will try to convince you that you're not enough, that you're not strong enough, that you're not smart enough, that you're not capable enough. But here's the thing. You don't need their approval. You don't need their validation. You don't need their permission. You've already taken what's yours. You've broken their system, and now they can't do anything about it. And you know what happens when that happens? You become a force of nature. You become unstoppable. They'll look at you, and they won't know what to do. They'll try to push you back. They'll try to tear you down. But every time they do, you'll just rise higher. You'll just get stronger. You'll just get better. Because you've broken their controller, and now they can't play. They can't stop you, and they never will. So here's what I want you to do, my alpha lovelies. I want you to look at the world around you. Look at the people who tried to hold you back. Look at the ones who doubted you, who mocked you, who thought they could control you. And I want you to smile. Smile because you know the truth. You know that you hold the power now. You know that they've lost, and there's nothing they can do to stop you. So go out there and take what's yours. Break the system, shatter their illusions, and rise to the top. Because you've broken their controller, and now they can't play. It's a truth that echoes louder than any failure they've ever known. The moment you took control, they were left standing still, frozen in time, incapable of moving forward. You broke their controller, shattered their illusion of control over you, and in that instant, they became nothing more than spectators, watching you climb, watching you ascend, but incapable of doing a thing about it. Every move you make now, they're forced to witness from the sidelines. The game they once thought they controlled is now yours to dominate. They can only watch as you reshape the rules. Do you understand what that means? That means they've lost the power to influence your trajectory. They've lost the power to manipulate you, and they never saw it coming. They spent all this time constructing walls, creating barriers, trying to keep you trapped in their game, trying to force you to play by their rules. They wanted to keep you down, make you small, make you feel insignificant. But none of that matters anymore. Because you saw through their game. You broke the controller, and now they can't play. You didn't just beat them at their own game. No, you did something far more devastating. You broke the very rules that they thought were unbreakable. You exposed their weakness. They were too focused on their own power, too consumed with their own sense of superiority, to see that you were always the one who had the upper hand. They believed they controlled the game, but all they had was an illusion. And you were the one who held the key to that illusion. You were the one who had the power to destroy it. You were the one who refused to play by their rules. And that is why, right now, they're powerless. They can't play. Now, I need you to realize something crucial about this. The fact that they can't play anymore is a gift, not just for you, but for them too. See, you've removed their ability to control your narrative. You forced them into a corner where they have no choice but to watch you thrive, and there's nothing they can do to stop it. But in that, there's a painful truth they will eventually have to confront. They are no longer the ones defining the story. You are, and that is something they'll never be able to forgive themselves for. They will forever live in the shadow of your progress. They will constantly look at you and wonder where they went wrong. The power they once had, they will never reclaim. The game is yours, and the victory is yours. And here's where the real power lies. They can't play, but you can do whatever you want. You have no limits. They're stuck in a stagnant place, still trying to fix the broken controller, still trying to get back in the game, but you're moving forward. While they scramble and fail, you're out here making your own moves, setting your own pace. You've learned the most powerful lesson of all, that the only way to control the game is to stop playing by their rules. But let's talk about the cost of this power. The moment you broke their controller, it wasn't just a game that ended. It was a battle. You had to tear down the walls they built. You had to tear through their lies, their manipulation, their attempts to hold you back. It wasn't easy, was it? The moment you decided to break free from the chains they tried to put on you, it came with consequences. People didn't understand. They tried to pull you back. They told you that you were being too ambitious, too much, too extreme. They said you were going too far. But the thing is, you never cared about their opinions. You never cared about the noise. You only cared about the truth. And the truth is, they were never in control. They were never the ones running the show. When you broke their controller, you didn't just take away their power over you. You took away their power over your future. You stopped them from determining what you could be, where you could go, and what you could achieve. And in doing so, you became something they could never have predicted. A force that cannot be stopped. A force that no one can control. They can watch, they can wish, they can hope, but they will never have the ability to play in your game again. Now, look at your life and ask yourself, what happens when you are no longer restricted by their rules? What happens when you are free from the confines of their expectations? The answer is simple. You can become unstoppable. You can achieve things they could never dream of. You can push boundaries they never thought possible. And you can walk through this world with your head held high, knowing that you are not playing someone else's game anymore. This is the moment where you take full ownership of your destiny. This is the moment where you stop waiting for permission. This is the moment where you realize you are the one who writes your own rules. You are the one who determines the outcome. You are the one who decides what comes next. It's a terrifying realization for them, to see you take that power, to see you rise to a place where they can no longer reach you, where they can no longer influence you, where their words don't matter, their opinions don't matter, and their attempts to control you are useless. They've lost their grip on you, and now they have to watch as you make your own moves, creating a path that's uniquely yours. It's not their game anymore, it's yours. But let's not be naive. This is the point where the true test begins. Now that you've broken their controller, now that you've taken control of your own fate, it's time to realize that you've entered a new phase of your journey. The power is in your hands, but the responsibility is also yours. You have to decide what you're going to do with it. Because now, you're not just a player in the game. You've become the creator of the game. You're the one shaping your future, setting your course, determining your success. There's no more room for excuses. There's no more room for fear. There's no more room for hesitation. You've broken their controller, and now the world is yours. You have to step up and take what's rightfully yours. You can't afford to waste time or let anyone slow you down. You've already proven that you can break free. Now it's time to prove that you can thrive. You see, they thought they had the power because they held the controller. But what they didn't understand is that true power isn't about who controls the device. It's about who controls their own destiny. And that's you. You've taken control. You've broken free. You've proven that you are the one who writes your own story. And now, the world is at your feet. But even with all that power, remember this. The real game is never about what you've already achieved. It's about what you do next. It's about taking the momentum from this moment and using it to fuel your next step. It's about rising higher and higher, showing them all that you are truly unstoppable. Because once they realize they can't play anymore, once they realize they've lost all control over you, the only thing they'll be left with is regret. Regret for underestimating you. Regret for ever thinking they could control you. And by that point, it'll be too late, because you'll have already left them behind. So stand tall, my alpha lovelies. Know that you are a force to be reckoned with. Know that you have the power to create your own destiny. And above all, know that no one can play the game the way you can. They might try to follow your lead, but they will always be one step behind. And that's exactly how it's supposed to be. You've broken their controller. Now, they can't play. And you're only getting started. This is not where your journey ends. It's where it begins. You've reached a point that few ever reach. The realization that you have the power to reshape everything. You're not just a participant in the game. You're the creator. You're the architect. You are the one who gets to decide how the story unfolds, and that is a level of freedom most people can only dream of. But with this power comes a responsibility to live up to the vision you have for yourself, a responsibility to rise above the forces that try to hold you back, a responsibility to show the world just how unstoppable you truly are. You've already proven that you have what it takes to break free. You've already shown that you have the strength to break the chains they tried to wrap around you. You shattered their illusions, destroyed their grip on your life, and now they have no say in what you do next. The controller that they once wielded over you lies in pieces at their feet, and now they have nothing but their own regrets. They have nothing but their own failed attempts to put you in a box, to force you into their mold. And now, all they can do is watch as you move beyond their control, beyond their reach, beyond their petty limitations. But here's the thing. Just because they can no longer play, just because you've broken free, doesn't mean the world is going to hand you everything you desire. Number, it's not going to be that easy. You didn't break free from their control just to sit back and wait for things to come to you. That's not how this works. Now that you're free, now that you're the one in control, the true test begins. This is the point where you prove to yourself that you can do what they never believed you could. This is the point where you show them that breaking their system wasn't just about escaping their grasp. It was about transforming into something greater, something stronger, something that can never be contained. They underestimated you. They thought you were weak. They thought you were fragile. They thought they could break you, manipulate you, mold you into something they could control. But they were wrong. You were never weak. You were never fragile. You were simply waiting for the right moment to unleash your true power. And now that the moment has come, you are unstoppable. But that doesn't mean the world will bend to your will automatically. It doesn't mean that everything is going to fall into place without effort. Number, the world is still a battlefield. And you need to understand that the victory you've claimed is not one that is just handed to you. It is one that is earned through every step you take, through every choice you make, and through every obstacle you overcome. The truth is, the moment you broke free, you became a target. You became someone people are going to want to bring down. Why? Because the world doesn't like to see people succeed who were once held down. The world doesn't like to see someone break free from the chains that others tried to put on them. People will try to test you. They will try to pull you back into the system they've built for you. They'll try to make you feel guilty for your success, ashamed of your power. They'll make you question whether you deserve to be where you are. But here's the truth. You deserve it. You earned it. Every single bit of it. Don't let anyone make you believe otherwise. And don't you dare let anyone try to tell you that you don't have the right to be great. You have that right. It's your birthright. You've broken their controller. Now, they can't play, and there's nothing anyone can do to stop you. So, the question is, what are you going to do with all this newfound power? What are you going to do now that the game is truly yours to control? Are you going to sit back and bask in your victory? Or are you going to rise to the next level, pushing yourself further than you've ever gone before? The choice is yours. But make no mistake, this is the point where greatness either happens or fades away. This is the point where many people fail, where they let the fear of what's next paralyze them, where they get comfortable in their newfound freedom and forget that the work is never done. You didn't break free just to stop now. You didn't go through all that pain, all that struggle, all that sacrifice just to get here and settle. Number you broke free to push beyond what anyone thought was possible, to go to places no one dared to imagine, and to achieve things that once seemed beyond your reach. The beauty of breaking their controller is that you've unlocked the power to create your own rules. You no longer have to follow anyone else's path. You no longer have to fit into anyone else's mold. You get to decide what your success looks like, and you get to carve your own path. And here's where the real magic happens. Once you realize that you are in full control, once you fully understand the power you hold, you will stop worrying about what others think. You will stop comparing yourself to others. You will stop doubting yourself and second-guessing your every move. You will stop being afraid to take risks, to push boundaries, to go after what you want, because you know that no one can control you anymore. You've broken free from that. You are no longer bound by the limitations of others' expectations, the shackles of society's norms. You are free, and that freedom, that control, is your greatest weapon. But even as you move forward, even as you begin to rewrite the rules of the game, you must remember one thing. Never underestimate the power of persistence. It's not just about breaking free from the chains. It's about staying free. It's about continually breaking through every obstacle that comes your way, never letting the fear of failure or the uncertainty of the future stop you from pushing forward. The moment you stop fighting, the moment you let your guard down, that's when the world will try to pull you back into its control. But you've already proven that you're stronger than that. You've already proven that you can break free and stay free. Now, all that's left is to keep going. Keep pushing. Keep proving to yourself that you are unstoppable. They can't play. They can't even begin to understand the force you've become. But you are a force of nature. You are the storm that they never saw coming. And as you move forward, you will leave behind everything that tried to hold you back. You will rise above every limitation, every doubt, every challenge. And every time you rise, every time you prove them wrong, you will become even more powerful, more unstoppable, more unbreakable. The real game has only just begun. And now, the only question left to answer is this. How far are you willing to go? How high are you willing to climb? What will you achieve when you break free from the last of your doubts, from the last of your fears? Because let me tell you this, there are no limits for you anymore. The moment you broke their controller, you became limitless. You became a force of nature that nothing can stop. And now, the only thing left to do is unleash that power upon the world. Because the world is waiting for you to show them what's possible. They're waiting for you to prove to them that no matter what anyone tries to do, they can never take away your power. They can never take away your control. They can never stop you. You broke their controller. Now they can't play. But you get to redefine the entire game. And trust me, my alpha lovelies, the world has no idea what's coming. In the end, breaking their controller wasn't just about escaping their control. It was about embracing your own power. You've proven that no one can hold you down. No one can dictate your path, and no one can stop you. The game is now yours to control, and with that power you can rise higher, push further, and achieve things they never believed possible. The world is yours for the taking, and nothing can stand in your way. You've broken free, and now the only limit is the one you set for yourself. Keep moving forward. Keep rising, because you've already shown that you're unstoppable.